Yo, we are back. It's the 10A podcast with my man Jamel Herring and Christine's somewhere out here. I don't know where, but she's out here.
Yeah, echo. It's echoing in her phone. She said she'll be on though. She'll be
It's
on.
definitely echo, but there's a lot to talk about. Kind of redundant the show. The same usual news, but it's getting deeper. A lot of the stuff we're talking about is resurfacing. Tank, did he announce his official retirement? Because all of a sudden it's everywhere. I don't know if he put something out. Uh, Claressa is a free agent. Papoose is officially her manager. I didn't know that. Remy Ma, Clarissa going at it. There's a lot of shit going on. And the Puerto Ricans, I love you guys. I'm Puerto Rican, all right? We're going to get into that. He's killing me out there right after the intro. All right, guys, I will promise the next show, the intro will be changed. I
was about to say, raise your hand if you want to see Jamel and I on the intro.
No, I got you. You know what? Intro, I'm going to edit myself out for the next couple weeks. I'm just going to have.
No, it's okay. You don't got to do that.
No, you guys are better looking than me anyway. So, just. But, yeah, it's so far it's been an interesting week. Shout out to my guy Two Tone, too, from the Hatrix. Shout out to him. He said, hit me up on Instagram. Said we're gonna do a collaboration. I fucks with Tuto. I appreciate you rocking with the work, brother. Appreciate you. But I got to start off addressing my people. I know this isn't about you guys. But I got to address my Puerto Ricans real quick. Okay. Hold on. My Boricuas, right? Guys, look. I didn't say nothing negative about Xander Zayas, okay? Let's start this off. All I said was simply that I want to see the kid be great. And I think him being a champion this early in his career, you hear me? In a loaded division. Your light went on. I don't know what happened.
No, I turned it out real quick. They wasn't trying to hear that shit the other you was saying.
Yeah, in a loaded division, right? It's going to be tough, and it's going to be hard for him to avoid the best fighters in a division that has Terrence Crawford. It's still got Errol Spence. It has Charlo. It has Keith Thurman.
Did you say tough, or did you say he couldn't do it?
I think he said it was tough. I think he said it was going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. I don't
believe it. He didn't knock the kid, say he couldn't do it.
They coming at you like you said he was garbage.
No, I never said he was garbage. I
said they're coming.
I thought it was coming at you though. I thought you were saying they was coming at you though. Like,
well, I also
you gotta clear that part out, make it specific. Like, listen, I didn't say he was garbage. I just said that you need to see more, or it's a loaded division, and now it's time for you to prove to be the next great Puerto Rican against these other great champions, because besides the champions, it's definitely a loaded division. So there's definitely some names and some competition out there.
Yeah, for sure.
And not only that, like I think what I stated was somebody that was in the comments was definitely slow. They were like, "Oh,
here you go."
I was like, first of all,
now you gotta start doing. Honestly, what I thought about what you start doing, you start in the pod. You start taking a segment where you actually read out certain replies, and then you put it on. That's a good idea. That's what you gotta do, bro. You gotta start reading now. You gotta start reading out certain replies, to clear things up, so people know exactly who we're talking to directly when we read things like this.
You cut like a segment of a segment, and people get like the wrong impression.
Yeah.
Oh, they got it from the post yesterday.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. One of the things that they got upset was when I said, and this stood out to me. I said he's a very good boxer. He doesn't do one thing very exceptional. Like I said, Camacho was really crafty. He was a southpaw with speed, like blinding speed at that, right? We had Trinidad with power. Then you had Cotto, who was just a great boxer that can destroy you in the body. He doesn't possess any of those things. And people are like, you're crazy. Somebody even compared him to Camacho, which you can't compare anybody to Camacho because he's one of my favorite fighters of all time. Camacho is an anomaly. He's different. There's nothing that's ever been like him as a Puerto Rican fighter. I don't care.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you.
Like Camacho really,
He was a showman, and he was a lot.
His speed, he had power. I mean, I had a granite chin, and I want to see Xander be good, right?
Right.
But for him to be a champion now, how is he going to avoid the Virgil Ortiz? We didn't even mention Boots Ennis. Does anybody?
He can't avoid them, and I don't think that he wants to avoid them. I think that he's progressed. I think he's gotten better and better, and he's 22, and he's only going to get better. I'm not comparing him to the greats now, but I do see him being great.
I don't. I'm going to be honest. I don't. I'm not in that division. I don't think he beats Fundora. I don't beats, and I think Fundora's probably the easiest route for him. I don't think he beats Boots. I'm going to be honest. I don't think.
I mean, your opinion is very valuable, but this is why they're on your ass now. Hey, you don't think he beats anybody pretty much out there?
The champions right now,
no. We're definitely not going. We're just going to leave Bud out the equation. Period. Because
I'd say, hey, let me unify again. He's not beating him.
You say if you think he don't beat the easiest when you playing, and no disrespect to Fundora, this is his opinion. If you think he doesn't beat the easiest guy there, he's definitely not going to match with the elite, in your opinion. The elite.
The top 10 at 154 is all names that are really, really good. Like, it's a stacked division.
How does he do against Jamel Charlo?
I don't think that's a tough one. Charlo's a dog.
This is why we ask the questions. Though.
I think he beats Charlo, and I think he beats Boots.
Wow.
I do.
Wow.
It's like, that is not my phone.
That's my phone. That's my friend that I told him I fucking record at this time and still decides to call. But I'm gonna be honest. No, he doesn't beat Boots.
I think so.
No, I think Boots dominates him. Boots, listen, people can say whatever they want about Boots. Boots is like that. He is really like, I think Boots has the potential to unify at 154. I really believe in
So give me two champions he beats at 154. In your opinion.
I think he beats Fundora.
Okay.
You think he beats Fundora?
I think he beats Virgil. I mean,
you think he beats Virgil and Fundora? Okay.
I meant to say
but do you think he beats Virgil though? Do you think he beats Virgil?
I think that's a close fight. I'm gonna edge Boots. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna edge Boots, but I also think he beats Xander as the other champion. Then the other one is Bud, which we don't know what's gonna go on with Bud, but I think he's that good. I criticize him. I think he can. I think he has the.
No, she said, "Do you think he beats Bud?"
I said I feel like he has the potential. I'm not gonna say he will beat him now, but Bud is getting older. And he's a dog, bro. I'm sorry, he's really like that, bro.
It's my Boots. It's my Boots.
Yeah, Boots.
You're saying that Boots is a dog. He's really like that, but he allegedly has turned down some fights to get 2 tune-up fights. He's been handed money to fight the top dogs, and he wants tune-ups.
Yeah, I mean, listen, whatever gets him prepared. I'm talking about just pure skill set. I think Boots is like that.
Not right. I don't think he didn't say Xander beats Boots. I think he's saying that Boots beats Xander and unifies also with another champion like Fundora.
Yeah, I mean, look, Kano, as crazy as he is, he says Boots beats them all. That's what he says.
I gotta.
We just gotta see more. I'm not fully disagreeing with anything. But we gotta just see, like Steen's saying, like we gotta probably just see more of Boots. So we gotta see him. We gotta see him in these fights that people want to see him fight. You know what I'm saying? Like we clearly know how talented he is. We know he has the skill set. We know he has the tools. We just want to see him. For the most part, and then with the elite. You know what I mean? So we know what he can do with the mid tier and subpar level fighters. He's gonna make them look stupid. But like I said, they want to see
30-something fights, 35.
Yeah, you want to see him push. We want to see him push. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
I'm just going based off of what I believe is his potential.
I know. We see it. We see it. You know what I'm saying? We see it with the eye test, but we will also want to see it with just a better and elite competition. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not mad at that opinion at all
Yeah.
because he
No.
definitely has the tools to be something great.
Well, I'll tell you this. I think he's supposed to be fighting Josh Kelly or something like that in November. So listen, we're gonna find out soon. But this is a stacked division. That's my only
It
point.
is stacked. No, it is stacked. It is stacked. And I see what you're saying. He's in there with some sharks.
Yeah.
He's in the
Oh,
ocean with some sharks.
real. Do you believe more in Xander than you believe in Boots? I don't.
I'm not saying that because they have two different kind of skill sets, but I will tell you that Xander dares to be great. He's not saying
Yeah,
no
I'll
to
give him that.
He's
anybody.
22 years old.
And
That boy,
22,
that boy, that boy is still. Like I say, I mean, I know he's been a pro for quite a long time now because
yeah,
he
he
went
was
pro
signed
at
young.
16. He went pro at 16 years old and all. So I get it, but at the same time, he just went. He's the youngest world champion today,
Yep.
Mhm.
officially. You know, what I mean, youngest world champion today. And he's like I say, he's barely old enough to drink. The boy got time to grow.
See,
Yes.
Even so he can bring in other trainers to help him. You know, what I'm saying
Yes.
add more tools to the arsenal. So
Yes.
I mean, again, I get why like some of the comments when it was coming at you in the post, whatever. But the same because they were basically saying the same thing. Like, listen, he just wanted it's not his fault from what he had in front of him. Because, like I said, I didn't think Garcia was really trying to do much of anything. He kept fighting at the same speed. He
Hmm.
didn't change. He didn't change gears. He kept following Xander around the ring. So I'm not mad at Xander for just going out there and boxing him up. But
Yeah.
again, I feel like
And we
only
know
time
he's
will
a
tell. Styles makes fight. Yeah, Styles makes fights. So it might be another style that bring out the best in him. We just seen
absolutely.
it.
I
We just
just
seen it with Shakur. We just seen it with Shakur Cepeda. They thought
Yeah.
Shakur was going to sit there and run and the time and Jerry thing. It was knocking him for months leading up to the fight. And Shakur
Hmm.
put on probably one of his best performances of his entire career.
Facts.
I just
And,
feel like he has
and
more
also Xander's chin has been tested. It has been tested.
against who?
It was tested this last fight. He got caught clean. He's been caught clean before,
That's my
and
problem.
yes, but like Jamel said, he's 22 and he's daring to be great. And
I'm
I
not,
respect that. He's not saying, "Oh, I need tune-ups. I got 35 fights and I'm almost 30 years old and I still want to wait." I respect that. I
no, listen,
respect that.
I
It's balls
totally
to the
respect
wall.
it and I cheer him on and I love what he's doing. My problem is this: he's a champion now. It's hard to build somebody up once they're a champion. Well, now you have mandatories or people that want that belt. You're thrown in the fire. When Bad Bunny gives you a cosign, that's not normal. I'm sorry. You went from like regular boxer to international star and eyes on you. I think the pressure is immense, and people are going to expect the big fights. They're going to expect the boots. They're going to expect the. And what
Listen, the
you
pressure comes with being champion. Period. You know what I
Period.
mean?
Period.
Regardless, it don't matter. It really don't. As even now, us having this conversation, it don't matter what you do. People
Yeah.
will still speak on their opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
yeah.
I think, like I said, we gotta just let him do what he do, and then
Yeah.
even like I don't really not fighters for what they're doing right now because they're still doing it right now. But we gotta let the body of work, what I'm saying, speak for itself when it's all said and done. At the end of the day, like we did, like I said, what we did with Cotto and the Trinidad of the world. Even though we knew like Trinidad brought a lot of excitement, to boxing when he was fighting. But again, what makes him more special is his body of work that we look back on and be like, man, he did this, he fought this guy, he looked
But
great in this fight. He showed heart here
yeah.
and so forth.
But
And
remember too.
you know what I'm happy to see though? I'm very happy to see that we're getting away from that era, the where you have to keep that you can't have a loss. I think we're getting away from that. So let's say he goes, he's daring to be great and he fights one of the top dogs and he loses. Well, he's going to learn from that. But if he doesn't and he wins, well, he's going to learn from that too.
Yeah.
So I think that he is daring to be great and that I respect that. I
No,
respect that.
I totally respect him. My thing is this: he has a tougher climb than a Trinidad, than a Miguel Cotto, and I'm gonna break it down.
Yeah, he does.
Look where he's at. He's at
Yeah,
154 in the
agree.
media and the pressure of Bad Bunny. Like this is not
He
a
bringing Bad Bunny, man. Bad
Yeah,
Bunny's
ain't
not
nobody
gonna
worried
be
about
able.
Bad Bunny but you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
listen.
He
When you go to
bringing
Puerto Rico,
Bad Bunny.
if Bad Bunny would come on the show and be like, "Norbs, you guys are the best show. We're out of here." That's how big Bad Bunny is. It's ridiculous, right?
Okay.
And when they
make sure you give him a tag when you search these trails. Maybe
yeah, where you at, Bad Bunny? Where you at?
But think about this: Puerto Rico didn't hitch their wagons to Edgar Berlanga. They hitched their wagons to Xander.
I mean, I get that, and they kind of did, and I forgot. And you know, it's crazy. Somebody mentioned it. I forgot that Matias was then a world champion, and
Exactly.
he didn't get this much. He didn't get well, at least from what I've seen, he didn't get as much. You know, what I'm saying approved. And Matias is a dangerous motherfucker.
Yeah, and
he is. But you know what? It's also about him. It's the way he carries himself.
Absolutely.
He's a young man. He's a handsome young man. It's the things that he's doing. You know, it's just everything. You know, there's some people that can really sell themselves, and he doesn't have to do much. You know, you love him automatically.
Put up my man Cano's message. He believes that Matias and Oscar Collazo are more deserving.
He said, "Yeah, I mean, Collazo's. Yeah, I mean, yeah. A lot of people feel that way. I've had people say that same thing. You know what I mean?
And maybe so. Maybe they are, but you know, it is the way you carry yourself and your social media presence and the way you.
I think also just that like Xander is that new fresh face of Puerto Rican boxers. Speaking of Cano, I think that's what's coming from right now. Because you know Matias has been on the scene for a while. You know he's been on the scene for a while. Yeah, he had a little setback. You know, then he came back and became a 2-time world champion again. But I think people are looking at Xander as just being that breath of fresh air for Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? But again, I like Matias, man. I like watching him fight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm happy that he won the last fight, became a world champion. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Puerto Rico as a whole. I'm all for it, you know what I'm saying, for what they do in the sport of boxing. But I think right now that people are looking at Xander because he's young. So you can mold him into, you know what I'm saying, that figure that you want that you expect a Puerto Rican champion to be, especially at a young age moving forward.
Everybody wants their hero. Everybody wants their hero. I mean, I just said yesterday that, you know, Joshua Edwards will be the face of heavyweight for the United States. He will be the guy. And people are like, he only has 2 fights.
He's young, you know, man kind of what he put Xander at in his list. I'm looking at his list. Sorry, he's killing me right now.
I agree.
No, I mean, where would you put now for real, Connor? Where would you put Xander in your list? I mean, again, I can respect you not being in your top. I mean, I can respect it because he just got here. But where would you put him in? Damn, he said not my top 10.
Wow.
He's there. You got a way to go on man Connell's list.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, bro. It's a lot of listen. Remember what I told you? Puerto Ricans from the island, they do not hitch their wagons. They didn't do it to Kermit Cintron. They didn't do it to Danny Garcia. They didn't do it to Edgar Berlanga. The fact that this island is behind them. My dad is delusional. My grandfather's delusional. They think Xander is the best thing since Trinidad, since Miguel Cotto. And I'm telling my dad, pump your brakes. I'm telling him the thing. Pump your brakes. He's in a division. If he was at 147, I would feel good. I'd be like, you know what? He's probably going to unify. He was at 160. I said maybe he's going to unify. At this division,
that's what makes it more interesting. Because if he actually proves us wrong,
he's going to prove us wrong.
Yeah. If he proves us wrong, he's arguably top 5 Puerto Rican fighter.
He's going to prove you wrong. I believe in him.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. I'm rarely wrong in these situations. And
okay.
As much as I love Xander and I want to see Xander do well and I want to see my dad smile, my dad's going to be heartbroken because this is a tough division.
After he beats your favorite guys, I'm going to call your dad up. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk. We're going to have some jokey jokes.
Zayas
I think Robert Jackson to elaborate more on this comment. I was waiting for you to pull it up. I seen it pop up.
Listen, when I tell you, when I name these names, when I say Camacho, what's the first thing that pops in your head, Jamal? Like, if you were you had a fighter.
You say Camacho, I'm thinking. You say what comes to my mind when you say Camacho?
Yeah, when you let's say I had to say, yo, as a fighter, Camacho, you're already thinking.
Flash. I'm thinking he brings flash. You know what I'm saying in that ring and finesse.
Yeah, like
I'm not saying Camacho.
I'm not saying we definitely not. Now I know you're referring to the one guy who said he was like Camacho in the comments, whatever. But I said when I look at Camacho, you know, guy who has flash and just didn't give a fuck. He was very outspoken.
Yeah,
and he backed it. I mean, Trinidad Trinidad will knock you out either hand, like at any moment.
You know, the thing is too is like, do we always? I mean, I know we do this as humans, but we always have to compare people to the late greats. I mean, the
That's what we
opposition is
do.
different.
That's what
The
we do.
opposition is different. The people that they're having to see, you know, styles are different. You know, let this man be great on his own, and he's going to be. I believe in him. I do.
Understand, but coming from a Mexican background, you understand the pressures of being a great Mexican fighter.
Of course.
And it's very. And listen, you guys are huge. You guys are everywhere. Puerto Rico is a little dot compared to what Mexico is. So everything is shined at a different perspective. It is absolutely insane. So when Puerto Rico hitches their wagons on you, they didn't do it.
Listen. We have ours in the African American community in history. I mean, look at Joe Louis.
Yeah.
when he lost that first fight when he lost to Max Schmeling. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I wasn't there, of course, but from what we read and what we see in documentaries and everything, he had a lot of pressure on him too. So we get it. Like we all have our heroes, and we all have our figures that we expect the best from.
My man Ray Big Time says Zayas needs his man strength. 3 years from now, he's going to be great. He doesn't 3 years to be great.
I agree. You know what? I had the pleasure, the opportunity. It was, I guess, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And I was able to do mitts with him and just really see him work. And at that time, you know, he was very evenly heavy-handed at both hands, where his punch, you know, count can hurt somebody, you know, if he threw 3, 4, 5 punches in a row, whatever. But I know it's grown since then, and it's going to continue. And I've seen him grow. If you watch his progression from his first fights to now, he is growing. Do I think that they probably need somebody? We've talked about this. Do they probably need somebody who's been here before in camp with them to help them along? Yeah, I do. Yeah. But he is progressing well, in my opinion. And I'm not counting.
Well, we gotta get Centeno in though, because they stayed with him from the beginning and they built him into a world champion. So we gotta give his team. Shout out to Centeno, you know what I'm saying? Give his team much credit because they definitely they had him as a kid. He's still a kid in my opinion. Still a kid in my opinion. You know what I mean? He's a young man right now, but he's still a kid. And they're still, like I said, they're still grooming him and building him. So like they said, the best is still yet to come. You know what I mean? As long as he stays on track and stays focused, we'll see more out of him, and he may have a long career.
He can box his ass off. We've seen that. You know, and depending on who he's going to be facing, the plan's going to change. You know, so hey, cutie.
Well, he faced stiff competition, but let's move forward. Claressa Shields back to making news. Is she a free agent? Is she not? There's a lot to talk about.
You talk about like wanting to talk to everyone, knowing what the best deal is out there. Given the very public back and forth with MVP and all the stuff you talked about on this show, in studio and just moments ago, are you not interested in talking to them? Like, are there certain promoters that you're going to say, no, we're not having a conversation because I don't like the way, the way it is between us?
I am interested in talking to everybody to seeing what their vision is for me. If their vision don't align with my vision, then I'll, walk away. But right now, whoever wants to speak, whoever wants to have a sit down and talk or whatever. And, once again, I don't got any smoke with any of these entities, MVP, whoever. I don't got no smoke with nobody. It's just more of like the facts are the facts. And you mentioned something to me about Shade saying that she felt slighted or whatever the case may be. Nobody wants to say her name. I'll say her name a whole lot. But if she can mention that, I can mention how the greatest woman of all time, pound for pound number 1, 17 world titles, 5 different divisions, only 2 women win the SB award, which was me and Katie Taylor just now.
Hello.
But if I can't mention how I know they tried to play me and tried to make it seem like I don't exist, I don't think that Shadesha got any room to talk about anything because she hasn't even built her brand to be on the same level as mine.
Hold on, guys. Conversations have changed. She went from "I'll never fuck with Jake Paul" to.
No, I think that was a very mature. That was a very mature reply. She said she doesn't have any issues with any entities. That's a sign. That's a plus sign right there. She mentioned even despite how you put it, she did mention Shadesha Green, which is potentially people can use that as a builder for a potential fight there. Notice she didn't mention our girlfriend Sean Cruz, which was another thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or the
yeah.
fact, or you know what I'm saying? Just keeping an open mind about, you know what I'm saying, going to whoever basically has shared the same vision as her. I didn't hear her mention anything about resigning with Salida,
I
but
don't
I
think
seen I seen a lot of people throughout social media felt like she doesn't need to sign with Salida. Salida's
Yeah.
plan has ran its course. Going with MVP. Let's be real. MVP is probably the only big brand out there for women's boxing right now.
Yeah, they just
That
signed
makes that
five
makes
other
sense.
women. Five other women they just
Yeah,
signed.
you guys aren't gonna.
one out of the amateurs. One out of the amateurs we've seen.
You guys
Yeah.
are gonna say it.
Amateurs.
You guys are not gonna say it. Shout out to Papoose. Okay.
No, I'm just gonna say I
Yeah,
think I think
Shut
she's
up, Papoose.
maturing. She
what the fuck does that got to do with anything?
But
she's
break it down.
maturing, and she's listening, and like
Listening to
we all
who?
get emotional, and she was emotional at one time, and she was talking shit, and then now she's like, you know what, I got to think about my career, and I got to think about what's best for me, and and why not? It's all good.
Now let me break it down to you guys.
She's a boss.
The Papoose impact. First and foremost, let's break it down. He's taking that love and hip hop stuff, and now listen. Before Papoose, did we see on Club Shay Shay? Before Papoose, did we see her on the Breakfast Club? Before Papoose, was she on Sway in the Morning? Before Papoose, what was she saying? I'll never this. Jake Paul this. And she has completely changed as a woman from the way she dresses to
And
the
that's
way
okay.
she talks. But I'm just saying, you can't say that Papoose hasn't influenced her.
Not,
He has his name across her
not
city.
saying that.
I'm
Not
just saying,
saying that.
and I say that to say this. He's not going, but she's not going back to Salida. She's not. I believe that. We said this on the last show. Papoose's influence has brought her to a situation where she's going to be moving forward, and it's going to be big things for her. But hold on, I have the special guest in the building. I'm gonna bring her on real
Hold
quick.
on, good fella.
Huh?
No, I said, but my man, good fella.
Yeah.
Claressa, that's out there.
Hold on. Hey, what's the Soul Snatchers in the building? Welcome. I don't know where Christine went. I think she fell off.
Yeah,
She
how I'm gonna
said
get
she
on
had
and
the
she gonna
minute.
jump off?
I
Remember,
know.
she had to go to the meeting. Remember, she said 10:30. It's 10:30, so my apologies.
Yes. Elliot, so how you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you guys, man? Appreciate y'all having me on. How's everything?
I'm
That's
good.
pretty
I know
good.
you just had your fight this weekend against O'Shea Jones, right?
Yes, sir.
But a lot of people feel like it was a close decision. There was one judge, I think he had it by like 10 rounds or something, like you lost or whatnot. You did say there was a lot of controversy behind it. What happened? What transpired out in Atlanta?
Actually, ironically, the guy who did 100 to 90, that was in my favor.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, which listen, I don't even agree on that, but I think that it's very rare that you see it at this level this bad. But you can watch a fight and you can watch two fighters, or you can hyper focus on one, you hyper focus on the other. It takes a very trained eye to really be able to watch a full fight and see both sides fighting. And I just feel like during that fight, it was very one sided with what they were watching. That guy that gave the 100 to 90, I feel like he was only watching me, and then everybody, the judges, even the commentators, like they was really only looking at her. I finally got a chance to run back to fights and listen to that commentary that everybody was so upset about. And listen, it's not just about being biased. I think that it was clear they were only watching her. Liana was trying to be as fair as possible, but at the end of the day, they had already made their mind up over who they was backing, and it showed in the commentary. She could have done one thing right, and it was like, oh my God, look what she did. But when I followed up and slapped her up with 3 hooks in a row, it was like crickets. Like they wouldn't say a word about everything I did right. You feel me? So it was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Like I did a lot of good work, a lot of good work, and I'm my biggest critic. I never leave a fight and think like, oh man, that was such a great performance. Like it doesn't matter how many times I win, I am my biggest critic, and to me, that's how you get better. So this is one of the first fights where I was like, yo, I left it all on the table, man. Like there was very little things that I could have done better. And listen, even then, we're gonna take that and we still gonna do it better next time, 150%. I get that, but it was a close decision. Yes, it was close. I'm not denying it was close. But what I know is what everybody in that building knew. It's what Mustafa knew. It's what everybody that tuned in and watched that fight knew, that I took that fight. I definitely took that fight. So it's just it was very frustrating to hear the judges and to get that decision, and we were all just like really confused, because if you look at my team, we was like, yo, we had that in the bag. You look over at her team, they was like nervous. They were super nervous. Even the ref, man, when they called it, that ref was like, his eyes got this big and he was like, what? And this is from a ref who's done several of her fights, almost all of her fights. And he was like, even he was confused. So when I noticed that the fans started booing, I was like, are they booing her? And I really started listening, and I realized that they was booing her while she was talking. So when I realized that, I jumped on the ropes, I stood up, and I put my hands up, and that crowd went crazy. Mind you, I didn't have many people there at all. At all. You know, we in Atlanta, I had maybe I want to say 15 to 20 people there that were able to come out that I knew of, So that entire building was in there, and they were pretty much O'Shea fans. So for those fans to turn and be like, yo, and to celebrate me and to go ahead and give me that round of applause, like that was an amazing feeling, because I felt like they saw me, they saw what really happened.
I mean, listen, it's definitely very controversial. People have been speaking about it. I watched it at home, and that's all people have been talking about. Is there a possible rematch? Is there anything on the table with that?
Nah, I really don't think they're gonna want that. I would love to, but well, number one, look, this isn't my first bad experience in
Right.
Atlanta, and it's not in Atlanta as a whole. I think it's just the commission over there and the way they run things, the way they operate. Like it's rough, It's not the first time this happens to me in Atlanta. So if there's a rematch, I surely don't want it there
I think
anywhere in the world.
I think like I said, you make a good case for a rematch. I think saying your team should definitely go to not just the commission, but the sanctions body, which is the IBF, because again, I see what you mean. You know what I'm saying? I think you deserve better than that. But I think you should definitely have your team jump on it and like basically get something out to the IBF. Because the IBF, for the most part, is usually fair, because they actually follow through with their mentors and so forth. So I think you should really have your team definitely get out there to the IBF and demand that rematch, because you damn sure put on a hell of a performance. The scorecard was definitely crazy, but again, the people seeing it, the people, like I said, you probably generated a whole brand new fan base after that performance. But I really believe, like I said again, you should have your team jump on with the IBF and get them to, do what they do what's right for the sport of boxing.
Yeah, agreed. And even look, even when it comes to Mary Spencer with the WBA, we've been chasing that for the longest time. I'm next in line to fight her, but yet her last fight was against like the number 15 girl. Like, how do we skip me at 2 and go all the way to 15? It's just I keep pleading the case of they have to force these mandatories. We have to abide by these ranked fighters. Like, what's the point of having rankings if you're not going to respect the rankings? If once you're a world champion, you can go pick the 15th person and be like, yeah, that one, I'll defend against that one, instead of having to fight the best. So look, respect to OTX, respect to O'Shea in that sense, where they had the belts and they took the next person in line, that was the opponent for the belt. I was next in line for it. So I do appreciate that opportunity. And I think that all the sanctioning bodies got to do that, man. All the sanctioning bodies got to really take a deep look and be like, we got to force this. You have Emma Kozin, who got the WBC and the WBO. She sat for almost 2 years, 2 years holding those belts. That's crazy talk. How do you let someone get away with that? And now finally she's coming out of her little, off the couch, and she's going to fight Cecilia in October. And when Cecilia wins, Cecilia going to retire, which Cecilia already said that. So it's like, man, how does someone at this day and age in 2025, where women's boxing is at its peak, and someone gets to sit on those belts for almost 2 years?
That's crazy. So what's next though? Like, what's your next move in regards to what you want to do, especially with what happened with O'Shea? Like, how do you? Because you said you don't want to fight again in Atlanta, right? You feel like Atlanta was just a bad place. What was the experience like exactly? Can you go into more detail, because you said it's kind of vague?
Look, I just, it's not so much, again, it's not so much like the place Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't want people to get that
Yeah.
mistaken, like my bad. It's just when it comes to like that commission and the judging and the scorecards, I've just seen it so many. So listen, I've been to Atlanta to fight at least 4 or 5 different times because even in my amateur career, I was out there fighting. Um, so I've been out there so many times. I've been out there for other friends' fights, things like that. I went to OTX fights before to support. You get me? So,
Right.
and I see it so much. I see that the judging and the commission in Atlanta, I don't know what they got going on, but they are so uneducated, man. They just be all over the place so many times. It's one thing that it's every now and then things happen, but bro, it is all the time in Atlanta. So I don't trust it anymore. I don't think that the
Are you
judges
signed
are
with a
right.
promoter? Are you
Huh?
signed with a promoter? Are you signed with a promoter?
Yeah, so I'm with M&R Promotions, and I have a
Okay.
manager, Trinidad Garcia. He actually has Olivia Curry, who's fighting for 2 world titles coming up as well. So he does a phenomenal job with me. Those are the guys that fight for me, him, my promoter. So at the end of the day, I could want what I want, but it's gonna be a group effort to push for that, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. No, I said that because I was thinking, even if you have a promotion, maybe you could do a co-promotion deal with them, like MVP, because they're doing a great job for women's
Oh,
boxing.
I that is one of the biggest things on my list, man. I would absolutely love that. I know my manager has been even in talks with Salida's promotions about doing
Right.
some co-promoting and
Right.
things like
Yeah,
that.
'cause I think that's what it is. Like to go on what Norv was just saying,
Yeah.
even in a rematch position, with the right backing, I can bring that fight to a neutral ground where you probably have a better and a fair shake at becoming a world champion against her in the rematch and so forth.
Yeah, for sure. So that I would absolutely love that. Regardless of whether it's Salidas, MVP, any of these big guys. I literally don't have like I'm the biggest advocate for women's boxing, man. I'm such a fan,
Right.
at the end of the day. So for me, I love what they're doing, and I've always said it. Whatever we could get going, let's get it going. Even before this fight, because they were fixing the date originally. We got told like maybe the 18th, and then they moved it towards the weekend of the 25th, and I was like, wait, y'all gonna do this on the same weekend Clarissa Shields has her card? Why wouldn't we just put us on that? Like, talk to them and put us on that.
Yeah.
It would only make sense because they had a great card on the 26th. I think that this would have been a phenomenal
Right.
fight to have on that card, So I think moving forward, that's kind of where we're looking, where if we can do some type of co-promotional deal for the rematch. And if not, I'll take Mary Spencer, who I'm next in line by the WBA anyways. Um, and whatever, we go from there, where whichever sanctioning body is going to do the right thing, let's go, let's play. I don't care what champion it is. I've always said it. I don't care who it is. Whoever got the belts, let's go, let's ride.
How frustrating it is that boxing has so many different like commissions. Like it's weird. Like it's not like one set thing, and I feel like that's what leads to corruption. And I talk to Jamel about this all the time. That's kind of they need one, sanctioning or one commission to kind of oversee everything. How do you feel about that?
I agree completely. It's weird, like, I respect when you get those belts and you become a world champion. And there's only four main sanctioning bodies for it to be unified and undisputed. So, but then there's still more organizations. People don't realize, like, there is like a bunch of other organizations where you can go get those belts and become a world champion as well. They just wouldn't count for unified and undisputed. So if it was one of those things where you could be a world champion, but then they force the world champions to fight each other as well, it'd be different. But again, without mandatories and without forcing people to unify and become undisputed, it makes no sense. For that, you might as well just have one sanctioning body so that you have one world champion. Because how could you be a world champion when you don't fight the other world champions? You're not. It's a step, and I don't take anything again. I'm chasing the same dream. I'm chasing the same belts. I'm no different from these other girls that hold one or two belts. But I think the goal for any world champion should be to become undisputed, because that really means you're the best in the world.
How difficult is it to fight somebody that's a priority? And what I mean by that is when a lot of like you for O'Shea and there's other fighters that fight guys or females that are priority to these promotional companies, and it seems as if they have an advantage with the judges, and they don't have anything that's any advantage is always going to go to them. How difficult is to be in that position?
As we learned this weekend,
Yeah,
it's as hard as it comes. They don't. I think that it doesn't allow for you to be a technical boxer always. It's kind of more, it becomes more the amateurs. Like they want to see you go. They want that Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor 2 fight. You know, that first fight, that second fight where it was just blow for blow. And I get it. That's exciting. But I think that they don't appreciate enough real boxing. They don't appreciate enough technical skills. It's more like they just want to see you go in there and bang. And to me, that's very amateur. That's very amateur with those refs that just wanted to see go, 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 go. Like, where's the art? Where's the skill? You know, and I'm not saying that you can't be defensive and have boxing on the inside and do that work. I thrive in that location. But I think that it's one of those things where we have to fight more than we can box if you really want to take it from the champ, you know?
Right. No, I get it. You right, no?
I think your
You
mic's off. His
can't
mic's
hear
off.
you, no. I'm gonna ask the question this until you fix this mic or whatever. Um, like I said, you put up a hell of a performance. Like, even if you can't get the rematch, what do you want to do next? You know what I mean? Because again, I think your performance definitely should be rewarded with another opportunity. So, what opportunity would you take if you can't get the O'Shea Jones rematch?
I'm already next in line for the other belts anyways. So I just want those opportunities. You know, I want Mary Spencer. I
Okay.
want, you know, the winner of whoever wins the WBC and WBO because Emma Kozen has both of them. So if there's a chance that Emma Kozen does beat Cecilia, then give me Emma Kozen. You know, I don't care
Right,
any of the
right, right.
champions. I want a shot with another champion. Simple as that. I deserve a shot with another champion,
Oh,
and
you
I'm ready
definitely do.
to do
You
so.
definitely do. You
Huh?
definitely do. You definitely deserve another chance. You showed that you had the talent. You showed you had the pedigree, and we know how the business side of boxing can be in terms of like Norm said, the priorities and who they're looking to push forward. But again, I think you deserve another chance. Even if it's not O'Shea Jones, I think you should, and I think you would put up a hell of a performance against any other champions. So I definitely want to see that you get your shine. Like I said again, you're doing your part, and I'm not knocking your team, but it's definitely I believe your team should definitely get out there and get you out there to a broader audience, and that's why I mess with you because you do have the skill set and the talent to do so.
Shout out to Cano Loco. Soul Snatcher just gained another fan. I love her energy. Thank
See?
you.
That's what I'm saying. And PJ's in, so I want to tell you to preach. So you know what I mean? Like I said, you definitely went in some new fans here, and I feel like you definitely won a lot in Atlanta from the reaction,
Oh,
even
for
after the
sure.
fight. That,
For
that
sure.
definitely says
Like
a lot. That says a lot right there.
afterwards we came out. I look, I love interacting with fans. I love interacting with people. That's how I feel before a fight. It's how I feel after a fight. So we went to the outside afterwards. Once I changed up and went out there, and it was just a dope feeling. You know, everybody was coming up to me taking pictures, and they're like, "Yo, that was your fight. Great job." I mean, it was like the entire building. We had staff members, you know, come through, and I had people from OTX, man. Listen, I had several people from OTX hit me up, talk about, yo, that was your fight. So I'm just saying, it was dope. It was a great experience. So I'm excited that I was able to have that impact, you know, and show what we do. And we're only going to keep getting better. If you look at my previous
Exactly.
fights, it's progression. I always progress every single fight. It's what I'm most proud of. I think some people, like, they get on this plateau and they just fight the same way every time. And I don't do that. Every fight, you're going to get something different out of me. And this one definitely was like that. So it's going to keep being that way.
No, just let it go, Norm. Just let it go, bro. What my man Connell at? We're gonna just call it the Jamel Henry show right now because
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Who's this guy
don't
in the
know.
corner?
I don't know what's going on, man. Well, thank you, man. Yeah,
every little bit it goes down by one person.
yeah, I'm the last man standing. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. But no, but again, like I said, we love your energy. Like I said, I pray and hope that you do. And no, I really believe you will get another opportunity, more
Amen.
opportunity. I believe you will be able to become a world champion because you have the skill set and pedigree. But like I said, you're still keeping a positive energy about in your head up, and that's all that really matters right now. But again, your time will come. I promise you, it will come. Like I said, I've had setbacks in my career, as you know, and I came back, you know what I'm saying, and did what I was meant for me to do. So
Amen.
I bring
Amen.
the same for you.
Yeah,
But again,
I
you know
couldn't
what?
agree more.
Am I?
Hold on, man. You go. Oh, bro, I was about to let her go because I don't know what you was at, bro. I
You hear
took care of
me?
you.
Do you hear me now?
There we go.
No, I was gonna say, what do you? I was gonna ask you one more question before I let you go. What do you feel about Jake Paul's influence in boxing and what he's done for signing all of these females?
So I'm gonna tell you this, and we can trace it back to when he announced the signing to Amanda Serrano, because I posted about it. I had to put a story up when he signed Serrano, and the day he signed Serrano and they released that, I said he will have the biggest impact on women's boxing that we've ever seen from a promoter's level. Like undoubtedly, I could already see the vision of where he was going and what he wanted to do. And a lot of people were hating. They said all this stuff, and I was like, nah, y'all just watch. He's gonna do it. And time after time after time, he just continues to prove that he is here for women's boxing, not just for the champions. He is helping bring up a lot of these girls, especially from Puerto Rico. And I'm Puerto Rican, so of course I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's my guy. But at the end of the day, he does support women's boxing. He's not just helping the champions get paid, because a lot of these champions, yeah, they might be champions. It don't mean they were getting paid. Now the
Right.
Right,
champions can actually get
right.
paid. And then he's also bringing the next set of females up in the rankings as well. So he's backing the ones that have been here. He's backing the new ones. He's backing the people that are coming off of, USA Boxing. He's doing
Yep.
so much for women's boxing. So I appreciate it. I appreciate everything he's doing, because it allows for us to all really stand our ground and say what we've been saying for the longest time, that we deserve that pay. We deserve that pay. The work gets put in just the same, if not more. The women's boxing is as exciting as it comes. If you're not even a boxing fan, but you watch women's boxing, you go be a fan. Like, it's so
Yeah.
rare that you see a women's fight that you're not like, damn, that was crazy.
And look,
So
I will say this: my man Connor over here, you're Puerto Rican. He already has a crazy list for his top 10 Puerto Rican fighters. He may put you up there now with his. Shout out to my man Connor, yo.
Yeah, I'm on the Puerto Rican shit list right now. I'm not gonna lie. I said I made a comment about Xander Zayas, and people are killing me right now. The Puerto Rican people,
oh
but
yeah, I jumped in when you were talking about Xander.
They
I
on your ass, bro. They
Love
on
that kid,
your ass.
man. I feel how Christine feels about him, man.
I
I'm a
like
huge
him
fan.
too, but he's in a division of sharks, and I'm like, if he unifies at 154, he's arguably top 5 Puerto Rican fighters ever. I'm sorry, with all the dogs, and that's all I'm saying. His climb is so much more difficult than I've seen in the past.
But he's doing it, and I think he's going to continue to do it. And I think that, again, that
One
progression
fight
thing
at a
is
time.
huge. Yeah,
One
that
fight at a
that
time.
progression thing is huge. Xander gets better every single fight, and he's not even close to where he's gonna be. So I think if he just keeps focused, stays in the gym the way we know he will, it's undoubtable what he's gonna do, man.
As long as I'm not on your shit list, we're good. So
Nah, it's all love, man. It's all love. I appreciate you guys having me on
We
today for
appreciate
real.
you. We appreciate you for being on. Any last words that you want to get out to where people can find you at on
Yeah,
social
so
media to follow your career?
yeah, definitely. Mostly on Instagram, but then everything I post on Instagram goes to Facebook anyways. But it's gonna be at Elia ELIA_Soul Snatcher. Yeah, and I'm always posting about fights. I always post, training stuff and keep up. We also have fighters in my gym. That my coach is a fighter, so we stay active on the scene. We're all over the place, and nah, man, it was just follow my career, because there's plenty more to come. And again, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. It's a pleasure to be on your
Appreciate
show.
you for being on.
hey, it's a pleasure. Thank you for coming on, and I'm Puerto Rican too, so you got my support. Xander, I rock with you too. We out here. I appreciate you,
God
girl.
bless, man. Thank you, guys.
God bless you as well.
I like her, man.
Yeah. Nah, she cool. She
I
cool.
hope she gets her rematch with O'Shea Jones, but it's got to be tough though, man. Um, O'Shea, of course, Olympian, whatever. Going to fight somebody that's a priority that people want to see become a star. It's got to be tough. I mean, Jamal, you've been in the situation where somebody, I guess, was more priority. How difficult?
Listen. Honestly, I had it easy. I was
Oh,
always the underdog, so I didn't have no pressure on me. I was just out there. Anytime I beat somebody big, I was going above and beyond. So I was cool. I was cool in my space. You know what I mean? I knew you know, what I'm saying, I got. Well, I know I got the goods or whatever, but I was cool not having that pressure of being, you know, what I'm saying, the next this or that. So you know, what I'm saying, I was just marching to my own beat of my drum. But I give what people are saying was Xander is different for, you know, what I'm saying, the island of Puerto Rico, which I love and respect. But I was cool, bro. I was good where I was at.
speaking on Jake Paul, this recently came out.
Bitch ass out, man. Yeah. All this playing y'all keep doing, bro. I knock his ass out, bro. You, I'm talking to you too, Jake Paul. I knock you the fuck out, bro. Dead ass, bro.
Jake Paul versus Adrian Broner. What you
Why
think?
not? I mean, why not? This is Jake Paul talking about.
No, it is Jake Paul.
I mean, listen. And I understand people gonna say, but if you're talking about fighting a Tank Davis, who's in a smaller weight class, I
Yeah.
get it. Tank, because Tank was what Tank is doing today in boxing, despite the Roach fight. It's still what he generates, what he brings to the table. But if you're still trying to fight a lightweight, why not fight somebody that's 147, 154 ish? You know what I'm saying? And don't let's be real. Like the press conference would be fucking hilarious. But the press conference would be hilarious. They're both from Ohio. People forget that Jake Paul's he's from Northern Ohio. Adrian Broner's from here in Cincinnati, Ohio. So I get it. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, you actually showed me and Christine a post, a flyer before that video even came out about,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, him and Jake Paul. And I was like, nah, I don't know. But then the next day you see AB come out and say whatever. So there might be at least some sort of truth behind it, or unless AB seen that same flyer or graphic and voicing his opinion as well. But
Oh no,
I wouldn't be surprised.
AB doesn't look like he's doing too great. So when he sees that Jake Paul be mentioned, you got to take advantage of him, and that's a big check that maybe you could ride off into the sunset with, right? So I
Right.
hope AB does get it. I'm not the biggest fan of AB, but I never would like to see brothers down. So I think that's a big thing. It would be fired to see that, and it's kind of right down Jake Paul's alley. Unless Jake Paul really does want to prove people wrong and go out and fight Anthony Joshua, which they're saying that he might fight, or Zordo or whoever, or even Badu Jack. So, I mean, it all depends. If Jake Paul wants his career to continue for longevity, then he'll probably take a Adrian Broner fight. But I feel like there's a lot of pressure on Jake to prove that he's a real boxer. So I don't know, but it would be interesting. I'm not going to rule out.
I'm
Tank.
with Goodfellas. I'm good with Goodfellas. He's still a name though.
No,
Still
yeah,
a name. Regardless how we put it in terms of where his career is, the man's still a name.
I wouldn't rule out Tank, even though we're hearing all these retirement.
That boy in retirement. I think honestly, Chris, sad thing about it, I think Rick Glazer said it best. Tank stays retired until the funds get low. You know what I mean? And that's what you just said. That's what you see with a lot of boxers. You know what I mean? They unless he's I don't know, like I said, unless he's carefully handling his finances and investing and put his money in places that's going to grow and generate income. That's a different thing. But for the most part, fighters. I mean, we even seen the great Floyd Mayweather. Many times he said that he had this and the third. It seemed like Floyd came back because of this issue, that issue, when it came to finances. So I think depending on his finances is what is going to determine if we see Tank back in the ring sooner rather than later.
No, I can't agree with you more. I think it's definitely gonna have to do with it. And
Especially when you're dealing with all these fucking legal situations and things of that nature, man, that shit adds up.
no, absolutely. And to be honest, yeah, it's 100% gonna be a money thing with Tank. But you know, it just I feel like Tank doesn't give me the vibe of somebody that could just take time off and not get fat and lazy. To be honest with you, he doesn't give me that vibe of somebody's going to be in the gym all the time or keep himself in some type of shape.
I
That's just
mean, he's been doing better over the years, though. Let's be real. 'Cause we've seen the videos when he was in between fights. He's putting on a lot of weight. I will say this: he has been doing better over the years and actually staying closer to his fight weight because you've seen times 2 3 prior out from the fight, he's probably 4 pounds above the weight limit. So he had to doing better though. I give him that. But we'll see if he still had that hunger and that dog, that motivation to stay to still want to continue to work out. In the
Yeah.
meantime, I get that part. But for the most part, when he was fighting, he's been doing a hell of a lot better in terms of
Yeah.
watching his weight.
Once you hear that retirement thing, you kind of like, man, I'm laying back in the pool, I'm drinking, and you seen him. He was at the club hanging out at a nice little college.
But did he officially put out a statement though?
I don't know, but I've seen everybody
No
start reporting.
speculation.
I'm not gonna lie, but I wouldn't be shocked. I've seen Two Tone put it out. I've seen the boxing voice start put. Now I think it's gaining a lot of traction. I know we had put it out probably earlier than most, but it's starting to gain traction, and Tank is not denying it. I don't think he's gonna. I think Roach. I even watch him.
He's not on social media. What do you mean he's not denying it? He's not on social media.
Even with Lamont Roach, I mean, he kind of gave up. He kind of threw his hands up in the air and was like, "Yo, it's not happening." So I think it's very telling. And
That could be
again,
the plan. That could be the plan though. Remember. Let's go back in history of boxing. Floyd Mayweather, Oscar De La Hoya.
yeah,
They were scheduled to do a rematch after the Ricky Hatton fight. What did Floyd do after he beat Ricky Hatton? Said he retired. Waited a year to the to the expiration date arrived on the contract. And then he came back and he fought Marquez.
and that was more from what Oscar says was a duck move. That's why because it was a very close fight.
I mean, you can say what you want. That's what Floyd. But it happened. It happened.
Yeah, it did. Jamal, do you trust Snack? And I don't want you to answer if it will mess up your ties with certain people.
Honestly, I don't really have a really opinion with Snack. I never really worked with Snack. You know what I mean? I know. I got a lot of close friends, of course. Bud works with Snack. So, but again, I also worked in the same camp house, like lived in the same house with Bud through our training camp, and I never seen any suspicious or fishy activities done. I've been around in the house when Vada will come around, and what I'm saying. 'Cause I mean, even myself, I've been tested by Vada, and like they're they're on your ass, and I said they just pop up. Again, I remember I was heading to the gym, and before we got to the damn driveway, Vada popped up, and it was like, well, I had to stay behind and to get blood drawn and things like that. So again, I seen Bud go through the same thing. So I really don't have but I don't really don't have a strong opinion on Snack. Like I get it. I see people feel their way because of Victor content in his past, but honestly, only time will tell.
Nah, I mean,
Oh, man, yeah, go back up. I know, heavyweight said something too earlier too, but
he said that you
no,
tried something in the military. The U.S.
yeah, he said I'm not. I try to get to everybody.
He said, "Thanks for the impact on my life, Jamal. I knew you would go have a much bigger impact in the world, and you can keep being you, bro. You do a lot for people in this world. You're a champion for life. That's what's up, man. Appreciate
I
that.
appreciate that. No, I appreciate that. But I'm still, like I said, I'm still growing. I'm still trying to be a better person. But even today, but I appreciate words like that. But yeah, man. But go back to Goodfellas, bro. Like I don't, like I said, man. I don't know, man. Like I mean, we can't deny what we've seen in the past. But again, I think Victor Conte is smart. I think he's definitely trying to stay out of the scrutiny of his past, his shaky past, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild, but
I mean,
yeah,
because you'd be a fool though. Let's be real. Because he'll get on there on social media and talk about everyone else
yeah,
in terms of when they pop and things. So it's like, don't be the kettle corn, the pot black type of situation. You know what I'm saying? If you go out there and your brand gets caught up in some shady mess. And people have, I think, listen, I haven't been doing my homework on it because, like I said, I don't really care for, I don't really look into things like that. But I mean, I have seen fighters, with them come up with certain shit. So it is what it is, man. I can't sit there and say that, like, saying that they had a clean slate. I think people will pull up, well, this fighter got caught with this and this and the third under Snack. But again, from what I've seen personally, and the people that I know that work with Snack, like, but I haven't seen anything crazy. What I'm saying, with my own two eyes, or heard anything crazy with my own ears like that. From my circle.
there has been some leaked footage though, Jamel, of you recently. I've seen it online. I want to put it out
Go
of you
ahead.
wearing a Canelo headband.
Yeah, I share that with you. Let's make that clear. We want to put that. Listen, I'm gonna say a bold prediction right now, and I know if somehow, because I say I'm all for Bud. If somehow Canelo wins the fight, The next show, when we put that show, you can gladly put that clip up there, bro.
Christine won't be on the show for like 2 months. She's gonna be.
But nah, what we're talking about is again. I was at the Canelo Billy Joe Sanders fight in Dallas. I was there in Dallas, and I had my Canelo headband on.
I have the
So, you
footage
know
ready.
what I'm saying? I gave my man the footage. I gave him, you know what I'm saying? But I got my Canelo headband on. And I, during the introductions, I was giving, you know what I'm saying, Canelo all his flowers because I'm a Canelo Alvarez fan. But
I don't
I'm
know
just
who
saying,
this.
I got to pick between the two. I got to be with the home crowd, go with Bud. I'm going with Bud.
I don't know who this guy.
Canelo Alvarez is definitely one of the best and will go down as one of the greatest when it's all said and done. Whether you want to agree with it or not, they're definitely going to put Canelo somewhere. And this is for all my Mexican family out there. You don't put Canelo on that Mexican Mount Rushmore, man.
He's the greatest. I'm sorry. I don't know who this guy's sister is. I don't know what this guy's talking about. By the way, did you read that comment?
Yo, get that off the screen for wifey pulls up. It's a whole different podcast.
Yo, I really wanted to play Claressa and Remy thing, but I might save it for another day. But it was funny. But the only reason I really wanted to play it because I didn't know that Papoose was officially a manager, and I took that guess the other day.
And we also need to address just like fan and boxing, bro. I know we don't address other podcasts, but like I need to figure out what's going on with fan and yoga. Every time I keep getting tagged and stuff like whatever he got against Bud is crazy, man. Like he's going fan and boxing, bro. I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna just send you some of the stuff that what I'm saying that I've been seeing for the past like 3 days alone, bro. Just like 3 days alone. Like he's called. Ever since yesterday was the anniversary between Bud and Spence in their fight.
Yeah.
But ever since that fight, bro, he's been on Bud's case by everything. He's called him a drug cheat. He said it's not. Yeah, bro. And they keep tagging me and all this stuff. I'm like, yo, I gotta address it, man. But even like, I would like to have Fannin on here as well, man, because I don't like, yo, what's going on, man? Like, what is your beef with Bud Crawford, bro? Like you gotta let that fight go, man. Errol was my brother too, but I don't like once the fight's over with, I don't sit on it. Even my own fights, I don't even celebrate. I never celebrated my victories for more than a week, and that's to be honest. Like I don't like. I'm always looking forward to the next big thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm always simply I just move on, bro. But again, man, I need to really know. What is your issue with Bud Crawford, bro? Because it's like, yo, every time I get on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, I'm getting tagged in a clip of you just going on a triad, you know what I'm saying, against Bud for this, that, and the third. It's like, yo, if you don't care about Bud, why do you keep mentioning this man's name every time you get on the mic?
Yeah, nah, I mean, he definitely, I don't know, maybe Bud slept with his sister. Who knows?
Right, I don't know, man.
But on that note, I will let y'all rock out. I appreciate y'all tuning in. We'll be back Friday, 10 a.m. We might change to 9 a.m. You know what I mean? It's up to Jamal if he can wake up on time. But
yeah, I'll be out. You see, yo. Let me know when I miss the show. Let me miss the show.
Yo, we out of here, man. Shout out to Papoose, the manager of the year.
Shout out to Pat, man. We out.